Regent Montera,
Hello.
Regent Smith,
Here.
Regent Spiegel,
Here.
Regent Vendrell,
Good afternoon.
and Chair Renison.
Present. Thank you, Amber. So before we consider the motion on the agenda item, I'd like to turn this over to President Solomon for a few comments for the President.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Regents, for taking time today for this conversation. So we are very pleased to bring to you today a resolution that would authorize the Boulder campus to change athletic conferences to the Big 12. And as you'll hear from Chancellor DeStefano and Athletic Director George, there a lot of hard work and a lot of thought has gone into this decision. We're incredibly grateful for the great partnership that we've had with the Pac-12, and we look forward to maintaining the many relationships we've built with Pac-12 universities as we move forward. But we think that the time has come for us to change conferences, and you'll hear more from Phil and Rick about that. You know, we always put our students first and our student athletes first, and you'll hear more about the reasons we think that this is a good choice for them as well. And of course, there are other considerations that you'll hear more about. But we really see this as a way to create more opportunity for the University of Colorado, for our students, our student athletes, and create a path forward for us for the future. And with that, I just wanted to thank everybody who's worked so hard to get us to this point. And if it's okay, Madam Chair, I'd like to kick it over to Chancellor DeStefano and Athletic Director George.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Solomon and Chair Renison and the Board of Regents. So, you know, a decision of this magnitude certainly has significant impacts throughout the university community and beyond. And I appreciate the board's careful consideration and really thoughtful discussion on this matter. As you'll hear from Rick and I are of the strong belief that a move to the the Big 12 conference will set CU Boulder up for long-term success and will provide stability in an era of unprecedented change in collegiate athletics. It will also provide added exposure for not just our student athletes, but for the good work and the great work and accomplishments of the university as a whole. And with the conference's footprint extending across 3 time zones, CU Boulder will be featured in areas of the country that will bring us into the homes of legions of potential new students and fans. CU Boulder's academic and research excellence transcends conferences. Our faculty will continue to do their collaborative research with other public and private institutions in the prestigious Association of American Universities, whether those institutions are in the ACC, the Big 10, the SEC, the Pac-12, or our new conference, the Big 12. We're looking forward to a successful final season in the Pac-12 conference and continued success in the Big 12 in 2024. So thank you, and go Buffs.
Great. Thank you, Chancellor. I turn it over to Athletic Director George for some final comments.
Yes, just a couple quick comments. First, I want to reiterate what President Solomon said and how grateful we are for our partnership with the Pac-12 and the platform that they've given us at the University of Colorado. So we're very grateful for that relationship and very appreciative. And we look forward to this last year in the conference being a great peer institutions at our conference. And lastly, I want to just say how much we appreciate the Regents' involvement, counsel, and input during this process. And we're very grateful for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Athletic Director George. So the first item on our agenda is the consideration of the adoption of a resolution regarding athletics operations. Before I take a motion in a second, I'd like to go ahead and read the resolution aloud. It is available also on Board Doc. So the resolution was sent from President Solomon to the Board of Regents and states, with the concurrence of Chancellor DeStefano and Athletic Director George, I, President Solomon, recommend the following resolution. Whereas the Big-12 Conference has offered admittance to the University of Colorado Boulder as part of conference expansion, whereas the Big-12 Conference provides stability for the University of Colorado Boulder in a shifting college athletics environment, and whereas intercollegiate athletics provides an opportunity to highlight and build upon CU's excellent educational and research programs, and whereas this change enhances opportunities for our student athletes by providing more national exposure and optimal television windows while mitigating team travel burdens, whereas the University of Colorado Boulder has strong historic connections to the conference region through its alumni, as well as current and prospective students. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Regents hereby grants the University of Colorado Boulder authority to enter into an agreement with the Big-12 Conference. Further resolved, the Board of Regents specifically authorizes the President and or the Chancellor of the Boulder campus to take such steps and execute documents as are necessary to formalize this agreement and ratify those acts already taken in furtherance of this membership. Is there a motion for adoption of this resolution?
I move.
Thank you, Regent Montera. Is there a second?
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay, seconded by Regent Chavez. Is there any discussion on this resolution? And I'd appreciate hands being raised as usual. So thank you. Regent Spiegel, I see your hand is raised.
Great. Thank you so much, Chair Renison. And I really just first and foremost want to thank President Solomon, Chancellor DeStefano, and Athletic Director George for all of your work, for keeping the board informed, and as Athletic Director George said, taking our counsel. And what I really appreciate is the opportunity to discuss, when we're discussing any decision on athletics operations and conferences, the discussion around student athlete well-being, and that discussion beyond travel miles and missed class time. I'm really hoping we'll continue to have conversations about practical and accessible mental health services for our student athletes. According to the American College of Sports Medicine, approximately 30% of female student athletes and 25% of male student athletes report having anxiety, and only 10% of athletes who know they have mental health problems seek out help. Another survey by the NCAA found that less than half of both female and male student athletes felt comfortable reaching out to on-campus mental health services. As part of any decision to change athletics operations or conferences, we must also make mental health resources for our college students more practical and accessible. Allowing student athletes to choose and designate an advocate is one way to open a conversation about where to go and what to do when they need help. That said, I'll be a yes on moving to the Big-12 conference, and a big yes on continuing to prioritize student athlete well-being and practical and accessible mental health. Thank you, Chair Renison.
Thank you, Regent Spiegel. Regent Vendrell?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank President Salomon and Chancellor DeStefano and AD George for all your hard work on this. I want to make one comment about my hope for this move, which is related to what I think is one of our core missions of this university, which is that we are a place where people can come from anywhere and succeed. And I hope that with a brighter geographical reach, we are going to be able to show that CU Boulder is a place where, first of all, people from all over this country are welcome, and second of all, where they will come and succeed.
Great, thank you very much. Regent Smith. And you are muted.
My family is from Southern California, and I grew up going to Pac-8, then Pac-10 games. And the men in my family went to USC, the women UCLA. I actually was a gaucho, but it really broke my heart to hear that UCLA and USC were leaving the Pac-12. And, I wish the Pac-12, the Pac-10, whatever it is in the future, all the best. As a buff, I certainly went to Big 12 games, and I remember Kansas blue and Nebraska red throughout any of the sports arenas. So I am happy to be back in the Big 12, and I will be voting yes. And thank you so much. This has been lots of discussions. These decisions are difficult, and I really appreciate all the work that our athletic director and chancellor have put forward towards this.
Thank you. Regent McNulty.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This decision wasn't a slam dunk for me. And as we've considered all of the different aspects of the question in front of us, I like the idea of the Pac-12 very much. Unfortunately, it seems that idea is no longer going to be realized, and I do think that's unfortunate. The Big 12 has opportunities for us, and it's important for us to understand that we now have the obligation of taking on those opportunities for the student athletes, the men and women who go out and compete wearing the CU banner, carrying the CU banner, for the university in general, for all of our students, for faculty, for staff. But it's also important that we realize the value of the athletics department to the university, not just to the men and women who compete. They are excellent. They do very well, and they represent the University of Colorado very well. But we need to understand the value of all of the sports, but in particular football, to the University of Colorado, to our brand, and to the value of our alumni, our boosters, and the men and women out there who love to see Ralphie run. So I will vote in favor of this resolution today. I think that it is the option that's in front of us. But I do say to my colleagues, to the chancellor, to the athletic director, let's keep this opportunity in front of us. Let's not let it escape, and let's make the most of it for the university and for the men and women that go out and compete on behalf of us and our students and our faculty and staff. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Regent Montero.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Rick and Phil and Todd for the great work that they did. It's been a long year with a lot of different thinking around it, but I really appreciate how you went at it objectively and gave us a very clear picture on which way we should probably go. And I have to say that when I was a student at CU, we were part of the Big 8. I sat in that stadium and watched many games, and I look forward to going back as a regent and watching us dominate in the Big 12 again. So thank you.
Great, thank you. I'll go ahead and add a few of my thoughts now. Again, I just want to thank Chancellor DeStefano, Athletic Director George, President Solomon, and lots of other people who've worked really hard and who have addressed a lot of very careful questions posed by the regents on this call. And I appreciate the attention that you've given to that, and also the care for the students and the campus and the community. So just big thank you to all of you. Great. Regent Gallegos?
Yes, thank you. It's not lost on me how big of a vote this is and how important of a vote it is. It's more than football. I think it covers the entire spectrum, as Regent McNulty talked about, all athletics in particular. I never thought we'd get to a day when we'd be voting to go out of a conference, but things have changed really a lot in the realm of college athletics. I think where we find ourselves today, and I'm going to support the resolution, is about the only place that we could find ourselves. I feel good about the work that's gone into it, the thought and the thoughtfulness that's gone into it, not only for our student athletes, but also for the growth of the University of Colorado. At the end of the day, my fiduciary responsibility is for the university, and I think that Chancellor DeStefano, President Solomon, and Athletic Director George have really done a good job of putting us into a place where we can move forward as the University of Colorado.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? All right, seeing no further discussion, we're back to the motion before the board. Amber, can you call the roll, please?
Yes. Regent Chavez?
Aye.
Regent Gallegos?
Yes.
Regent James?
Yes.
Regent McNulty?
Yes.
Regent Montero?
Yes.
Regent Smith?
Yes.
Regent Spiegel?
Yes.
Regent Van Driel?
Yes.
and Chair Renison.
Yes. So the motion passes. Seeing no further business, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Thank you. It was moved by Regent McNulty and seconded by Regent Montera. And seeing no objections, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, and have a good afternoon.
Thank
Bye,
you.
team.
Go Buffs.